This is episode 8 of Give Me a Chance, and it is your host speaking, Vittoria. Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Give Me a Chance. Thank you all very much for all your messages and sharing your stories with me. They are all so inspirational, and I'm doing my best to give them a place on the show little by little. This is how I got the chance to get in touch with Kalen, our guest for today. Kalen battled for a few years with severe physical pain after a fall, and only by standing open to alternative medicine, she got a chance to change her life and heal her body. And that also brought her to the vocation of her life, that is actually to going into alternative medicine and helping other people. Kalen will now tell us a little bit more about her story. Hi Kalen, welcome to Give Me a Chance. How are things going with you?
Oh yeah, things are good. I'm pretty excited to do this podcast with you.
Can you tell us something about yourself first before we start?
So I live in Utah, United States, kind of in the dead center of the United States. And I've lived here for a while. I lived in the South for a long time, the real southern states. When I was 15, I fell from a tree and landed flat on my back and was bedridden for about 2 years. And saw every doctor, every specialist for 2 years. No one could help me. There were no answers. And eventually I started to find holistic medicine. And slowly over the last decade or so, I've been improving. But it was for a long time, from age 15 to 17, I was completely bedridden. And then I finally started getting up and moving around and healing, and that's kind of what I've decided to focus my entire life on, and helping others who are just lost in the medical world and can't find any answers, because that happens a lot, and a lot of people out there are just accepting that this is just how they're going to be for the rest of their lives. My goal is to reach those people.
But what did you go to before? Because I can imagine that you would only go to traditional medicine.
I only went to traditional medicine. I got MRIs and CAT scans and blood tests, and eventually when I called a stop to it was when one doctor said, well, we'll just open up your brain and just look around. And I said, no, you're not going to do that. I'm going to look for different options.
Did you know at the time about alternative medicine, or not at all?
No, it was a complete new thing to me. And my mom, because I was only 17, so my mom, she'd never heard of alternative medicine or anything like that either. And so it was really a total blind leap. In the US, it's still, I wouldn't say taboo, but it's still almost looked down on. It's definitely, traditional medicine doctors definitely are condescending toward alternative medicine doctors and other alternative medicine practitioners as well.
How did you look to such a different approach at the time? Because I can imagine it might be scary to even start on that if you didn't know much about it.
I had no idea what they could do. All I knew was that I tried everything else. So whatever they could do, it couldn't hurt. We did acupuncture. That wasn't exactly what I needed. We did other energy stuff that helped significantly, but it wasn't exactly what I needed. Until eventually I found a chiropractor who worked with blood labs as well. And he found that my body was so inflamed from all of these different infections that I had developed over the years of just laying in bed and doing nothing, and eating garbage. All these infections were keeping me so inflamed that my spine was completely misaligned. It was causing me significant pain that my body could not calm down, basically.
And what happened then?
He said, when your body's on fire the way it is, because I had so many infections, it was just inflamed and on fire. He said, it's not going to heal. If your body is trying to focus on putting out the fire, it's not focusing on healing. So he helped me essentially put out the fire with a refreshed diet, a nutritional kind of overhaul, detox programs, supplements. He helped me pick a cleaner water source that did not add like fluoride or chemicals to my body or anything. And that made a huge difference. And once my inflammation was able to go down, my body was able to begin the healing process. So I started feeling a difference right away, but I wouldn't say I was 100% until about 2 years in. I spent my entire life eating garbage and living like garbage. And so it's not going to heal after just, a week or two. So I worked really hard for a couple of years to get to be, back to 100%, where I haven't been for so long.
And such a healing process, what did that mean to you?
It gave me my life back. A lot of people are in that situation, but there's even more people out there who are just living like half lives or dealing with pain going through their lives. And, they don't have to.
What are the things that you could really do after getting back on your track? Because that was a major switch.
I did finish school and I started college. I started working for that doctor who helped me. He gave me a job and he started mentoring me in holistic wellness. And that really turned my life around, focused me down on a career path that I loved and was devoted to. I was able to date and got married, so that was something I definitely didn't do before. Yeah, but it's like I did all of those things in like a big whoosh, I guess, because I missed out on so much for so long.
And now you said something about the fact that the same doctor that cured you actually gave you a chance to be one of his staff.
I don't know how. Honestly, it just sort of happened. Like, as I was seeing him, it just sort of like turned into a job. So he started me doing a chiropractic assistant position. So I was like a medical assistant and helped him with his patients. And then it eventually turned into more, where he started teaching me how to do certain things on my own. And he introduced me to biomeridian scanning and using this machine and other machines to do energy work and energetic balancing, and that eventually turned into what I wanted to do. Yeah, it was very much like the heavens opened and I just saw that like this is where I needed to be right now. And I definitely needed that time there. I was there for about 5 years. I definitely needed that time there. I learned a lot and it put me on the right path so that I could continue and help other people.
It sounds as if getting to know holistic medicine really gave you a chance to find out more about yourself and your life and got you the chance to do much more.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Before I found it, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't really want to grow up and do anything, and then I found it and it was seriously like I found my calling. Like, this is what I was meant to do the whole time. So I really am grateful for the trial, I guess, for how difficult it was. And I guess I'm grateful for traditional medicine letting me down because it brought me to everything I ever wanted.
If we move a little bit forward in your story, how did you experience those 5 years of working with alternative medicine?
Well, for me, it was a big change because I grew up eating fast food all the time.
Yeah.
And canned vegetables, no fresh vegetables, tap water, full of fluoride and other chemicals like that. That's what I grew up on. So when I first started going and working at this place, all of my coworkers had their home lunches that were like organic, like whole food salads, and I was blown away. And they taught me, really the whole staff taught me how to change myself and change my life. And so it was a really incredible experience to find my tribe there and get to know all of them and learn from each of them.
And the perspective from your clients. So what is the main takeaway that you could see than taken from you?
Well, for me, I really developed a love for coaching because of all the help that it gave me. So I developed a creation of balance, and that's what I wanted to do, just create life balance. People would go see the doctor I worked for, but I also started taking on my own clients because, you know, I noticed like these people are coming to see you and they're putting their money where it matters into supplements and all of that stuff, but they're not changing their personal lives.
Do you notice that
So
people have some difficulties in following through with what you give them?
a lot of people who went to that doctor that I worked for, they just trusted him implicitly and just trusted that he would just fix them. And I started taking those clients for coaching, and then they still weren't making the changes because that's not what they wanted. They wanted to be fixed. So then I started, you know, getting the ideas and thinking about starting my own studio and being mainly like a wellness coach.
And did that come true?
It did. I was really, really fighting within myself and kind of with this doctor about it. He saw that I was trying to do coaching and that it wasn't successful. So he did not want to continue supporting the coaching in his business, which is fine. It's his business. He can support what he wants. But it was really a struggle with me when he said, you know, this isn't working or, you know, it's not sustainable. So I'm not going to support this anymore.
How could you say that it was not really successful?
Clients I was seeing, they were his patients, and then I was taking them on as clients. And like I said, they were wanting a fix. They weren't wanting to change anything. So I wasn't having a ton of success coaching while I was there. And I started meditating. One day I was meditating about what I really wanted, because I didn't want to leave. You know, this clinic had given me so much and I didn't want to leave. And so I started meditating on what I really wanted to do. That's kind of when in me I decided like I have to move on, and my journey here is over. Now I have to start a new one and keep going. That happened in January of this year. And then I made plans, and I continued to work there for another 6 months as I was making plans and setting up my own studio.
Yeah.
And then about June is when I finally left and opened up my own studio for business.
Congratulations. Yeah. What is your specialty? Why should people come to your business?
Like I said before, like it's entirely about balance, right? I don't fix anybody. For me, it's about giving people the strength and the knowledge and the tools to make this happen for themselves in a way that they feel is right.
If you look back, what are the main things that you take away from this process?
You know, some of the main things are that you're in control of your own body and the way you feel. And, you know, unfortunately in traditional medicine, and it's really common in the States, is to take control away from you. And I had to kind of dig within and figure out that I had the right answer for me. And everyone has the right answer for them. They just have to be willing to become educated, be open to it, trust themselves, and kind of make the life changes that are needed to make it happen.
Kalen, many thanks for joining us today on Give Me a Chance, and thank you for sharing your story.
All right, have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
This was Kalin's story. Kalen got the chance to change her life and heal her body by getting to know more about alternative medicine. And once she got better, she could finally enjoy living in her body again. Her encounter with alternative medicine also gave her the chance to turn later on what she learned about it into a real job, and later on even to start her own business in that. Have you ever had the chance to change your life, or do you know anybody who has? Please get in touch with us or leave a comment here below. And if you enjoyed this episode, do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And see you next time. Give me a chance, on your screen and in your ears.